Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is a yoga sculpt class and the emphasis today is on the back. Obviously we are going to be doing a little bit of core, a little bit of arm and shoulder strengthening as well, but mainly prioritizing our strengthening in our back today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. And as always, you already know when the camera angle is lower down, you already know that this class is gonna start and end on the floor. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're gonna go ahead and come with the dumbbells if you have them, optional, so you don't have to have them, but if you do have them, we're gonna place it right beside us today. So to start, we're gonna go ahead and come into our cat-cow today. Toes are on the floor here, and we're gonna go ahead and bring your forward frontal area, the chest, the torso up towards the sky, lifting your eye gaze a little bit higher than our neutral position. Inhale here, and then exhale, bring the navel in towards the back of the spine to curve in that upper back here, releasing the head and the neck downwards, chin tucks in towards your chest here, slipping in those elbows. Inhale to really open up through that beautiful front line stretch. And exhale, coming back into that beautiful heat here and making sure, checking in with your fingertips. Are they away from each other? Nice strong palms here. Inhale again, forward. We're gonna do this a couple more times. You're just waking up the body here, warming our spine up, warming the back here. Inhale, you can even feel free to close the eyes here as we move forward in the front line stretch. And exhale again, pressing that navel in toward your spine. Really feeling your low back releasing while your upper back is strengthening. Inhale forward, 2 more times. Right here, you got it. Nice. Just gently waking up the body here. The calm before the storm. Nice. Last time. Inhale forward and exhale back. And on your next exhalation, we're going to go ahead and bring your toes down onto the floor. Coming into our knees, bringing your arms up into a beautiful lift here. Inhale here. And then exhale, coming down into our child's pose, opening your hips and your knees up a little bit wider here and coming down into child's pose. You can feel free to keep the head lifted off the floor or bringing your forehead down all the way to the floor. Now on your next inhalation, we're gonna go ahead and bring yourself back into a half position where we're kind of in a tabletop position, but your knees are a little bit wider. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring the knees a little bit closer to us, hook the toes downwards, and we're gonna go ahead and again bring those toes down onto the floor, coming into the floor with your belly on the floor. Now we meet in a beautiful cobra position. From here, we're gonna go ahead and bring yourself into either a baby cobra, staying down nice and low, just lifting your chest off the floor slightly, or coming all the way up into full cobra, siphon in those elbows here. Hold for a few moments, making sure your shoulders are not towards the ears, bringing your shoulders away from those ears here. Inhale here, and exhale, bending into those elbows again, and pressing yourself back into that child's pose. Beautiful. And coming back, open up those knees a little bit and then close them as we're coming down into our cobra or baby cobra here. Beautiful. Nice. Let's do this one last time here. Exhale back into full child's pose here. Inhale again, coming back forward into baby cobra or full cobra. Beautiful, feeling a heat in the back and the arms. And on your next exhalation, let's go ahead and collectively push back into child's pose. Hold the moment, hold child's pose for a couple breaths here. Nice deep inhales and exhales here. You can feel free to add a little bit of a side extension by lifting one elbow off of the floor a little bit higher. That means a little bit of a lat stretch here side to side if that's an option or variation for your practice today. If not, just staying in that neutral static position of child's pose. Last full cycle of breath here. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and slowly now come back into tabletop. Now in tabletop, if you have the dumbbells, we're gonna grab just one of them and we're gonna go ahead and come into our bird dog. So on your next exhalation, exhalation, lifting the right hand with the left leg at the same time. Hold for a second here. And then if it's a variation for your practice today, bring your elbow in towards your knee. Exhale here, or just simply lift and lower back down. Let's go ahead and do 5 more times here. Exhaling, either just lifting up or bring your elbows towards your knees and then bring it down. Stay on that same side, you got it. And the whole time, making sure that you're prioritizing your spine in that nice neutral position. So we don't want to be shifting your body weight too forward where your spine moves a little bit more downwards, nor we do not also want to be up here where your upper back is curving like we did in the cat-cow. So we want to make sure it's in a nice neutral position, engaging your back muscles every time in that nice open position here. Nice. Let's do 3 more times just like this, either just holding at the top and lowering, or holding and coming and being in the middle. Nice. Looking good. Let's go last one right here. And let's go ahead and slowly now shift to the other side. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and begin the other side. Holding and bringing it back down. Nice. Really strong arms, strong shoulders, and back right here. Really making sure you're squeezing into your glutes as well, so you don't feel any strain in the low back. Really engaging your core muscles here, bringing your navel in towards your spine to really feel the heat in that center line in the front side of the body rather than in your low back. Nice. Let's do 3 more just like this right here. Breathing with your body movements here. Nice. Looking good. We have last one right here. And on your next exhalation, if you have the weights, let's go ahead and release the weights. And we're gonna go ahead and come into our seated position where we're gonna go ahead and bring your fingertips in towards your knees. Let's do a gentle stretch for the arms. We did a little mini heat and strengthening series here, but we're about to do a little bit more. So just warming up now for our next series. So really making sure you're stretching and lengthening through that front of the wrists and the forearms, the shoulders, all that good stuff. Nice. Last cycle of breath here. You can either move side to side or you can just hold. Nice. And let's go ahead and slowly bring those wrists into beautiful rolls. Nice. One direction and then the other. Awesome. Breathing deeply here. Now we're gonna go ahead and come into our plank series. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So variations, either coming into full plank position, making sure your hands are in that shoulder distance apart. And then your feet, if you want to make this challenging, you can bring your knees and toes together in a nice center position, or you can make this a little bit more stable, not easier, a little bit more stable by bringing your feet a little bit wider. And then from here, we're just gonna hold for a second, and then we're gonna do shrugs. So slight bend in those elbows here, squeezing your back muscles, your shoulder blades together here. Inhale, and then exhaling to bring your shoulder blades apart. Nice. So really small little dips here, nothing too strenuous. And again, you want to make sure your head is not protruding forward. You're not chucking your chin into your chest either. You're making sure it's nice and neutral. So finding a good balance here with the head and the neck posture. Now for those of us who do not want to come into the full plank and the wrists are a little bit not happy with us today, we can go ahead and come onto your elbows. Same exact thing. So coming back, squeezing into your shoulder blades here. Inhale down. And then exhale to lift. Nice. We have 5 more. Keep breathing through it, making sure your hips are not coming up into a downward dog situation or a puppy situation. And we're also not sinking the hips down. If you ever need to come onto your knees, feel free to do so. Just continue on into the shrugs. Nice. Last one right here. And let's go ahead and slowly bring those knees down. And we're gonna go ahead and set up for this next one. So if you were here in a low plank, we're gonna stay right here. while I instruct the others to come down and meet us here. So if you're in that plank position, coming down, meeting with us on the floor. Now we're gonna go ahead and interlace those hands here if that feels comfortable. For some of us who do not like this position, you can always just bring those palms down onto the floor, just like so. But for those of us who are interlacing their hands, we're gonna be right here. Now we get to lift our hips up, contrary to what I just said. So we're gonna go ahead and bring now the knees off the floor here. This is level one. If this is you're already feeling it, we're gonna hold right here and then you can bring it down. Lift and bring it down. All right, that's level one. Level two, we're gonna go ahead and come into a full extension. So bringing your hips now all the way up to the sky, kind of like when we do a downward facing dog, but with the elbows down. And your head and the neck is gonna be in between your biceps right here. Hold for a quick second here, and then slowly bring your knees back down. Nice, you feel it? Nice, let's do 5 more reps here. Exhaling to lift up, squeeze that navel in towards your spine, and then inhale down. Nice, looking good. Again, this is the easier portion that we're about to do. It's gonna get harder, don't worry. All right, nice work, y'all. Keep going. Breathing nice deep inhales and exhales here. Nice, we have 2 more. Exhale, lift. Really feeling now the upper back starting to strengthen with us now. You should really start to feel it now. Nice, last one right here. Hold for a quick second. And if you need to rest those knees, feel free to do it now. But we're gonna go ahead and bring your forehead towards the floor again. If it doesn't touch all the way to the floor, no worries, or your nose can touch the floor, right here, or right here. Or absolutely not, you're saying, no, Anna, I'm not doing that today. We're gonna keep your head just lifted off the floor here. But no need to do this number, right? We don't wanna strain your head and the neck to try to meet it to the floor. So if you feel any tension or that's not in your practice today, just staying right here. Beautiful. And then lifting those hips back up. Again, if you're on your knees, right, we're still doing the same exact thing, except we're down on your knees. So hips up right here, and then bring it down, and then bring it forward. Same thing, just lessening the intensity a little bit from the wrists, the shoulders, the back here. Nice. All right, wherever we are, we're gonna do last 3 reps right here. Keep breathing through it. Nice deep exhale forward, and then inhale back for this one. Nice, looking good. Keep breathing through it. We have last one after this one right here. Keep breathing through it, you got this. Feeling that heat in the back. Nice. And let's go ahead and now slowly collectively bring your knees back down onto the floor. We're not resting. We're gonna prep for our last series here for this one. So I have another set of variations here. So level 1, we're gonna go ahead and come into a variation of our shoulder stand, headstand. So we're gonna go ahead and bring your top of the head down into those interlaced hands. Now if you had your hands not interlaced, you can go ahead and slowly, gently cradle your head here. The main thing is we're not pulling on the neck, we're bringing your forehead. If you feel right, if you go ahead and feel your forehead muscles, or forehead bones and muscles, whatever we call these, we're gonna find the nice protruding bones right here. So we wanna make sure that those bones are sitting on the floor, and we are making sure that you're not on your head directly, right? We're not doing this, right? We're in this nice, beautiful position where it's on the floor here, all right? Wanna make sure we prioritize safety first. So again, if it's not in your practice, just feel free to just rest in a child's pose here. Totally fine, right? I wanna make sure I hit all levels, so making sure everyone's included here. But for those of us who are coming into this one, again, finding that beautiful position, and we're just gently cradling the back of the head here once the forehead is down. From here, level 1, if you already feel this right here with the knees on the floor, totally fine, making sure you're squeezing into your shoulder blades here, and see if you can also experiment with the knees. So see if you can lift one knee off the floor and then back down. Other side, one knee off the floor, back down. So that way you can still partake in the strengthening. And then one day, if you wanna come up with the rest of us, right, bringing your knees off the floor, right? This is level 2, down, and then lifting up, right?
And then for level 3, lifting the legs all the way in extension, still keeping the hips nice and high. And see if you can bring the legs a little bit closer to you. Now, if this is in your practice, you can also lift the legs up towards the sky. That's not in the practice today, but if you feel like a calling to lift the legs up and you're already advanced in this position, feel free to come here. But for those of us level 3, we're just gonna stay right here. Feet on the floor, but see if you can lift your hips a little bit higher. You're still on your forehead here, and you're still squeezing into the upper back here, and the arms, the forearms, the elbows are firmly pressed on the floor as we're here. We're gonna be here for another full cycle of breath wherever you are, really feeling that heat in the upper back today. Yes, I know it burns, but it's a beautiful strengthening drill here. Nice. And let's go ahead and now slowly, wherever we are, bring those knees back down, releasing the back of the head and the neck. The arms are away from your head and the neck now, placing your palms down onto the floor. Extend your arms forward, and if you're still in that child's pose, continue to hold in that child's pose. We're meeting all collectively now in the child's pose. And here, let's go ahead and do a thread the needle situation. So let's bring your left palm up towards the sky, thread it underneath your right hand that's extended here. And feel free to either just gently press your cheek, your side of the head onto the floor, and see if you can get a little bit of a nice opening through that side and the arm here. Nice, and the back should feel amazing. All that good hard work is paying off with this stretch. Nice release here. Awesome. All right, and let's go ahead and slowly now switch to the other side. Thread the right hand underneath the left, and really releasing through the back side, and the upper back should feel amazing. Nice work, y'all. That was great. Amazing work. Really deepening your breath with every inhalation and feeling the heat nourishing your body with every exhalation. Nice. And whenever you feel ready on your next exhalation, slowly walking back your hands in towards your knees, slowly closing your knees. All right, so now that we've finished our plank series, we're gonna go ahead and come back to the floor on our bellies to come into our almost finale series. So we're gonna go ahead and come back onto the floor with the belly. And here, if you're using a dumbbell, we're gonna go ahead and bring the dumbbells by your sides here. If not, it's gonna look exactly the same without the dumbbells. But from here, we're gonna go ahead and just do the upper back now. So keeping the toes on the floor here and bringing your knees and toes together in towards the center line. So zipping up through the midline on the floor actively. So we're really pressing your upper back and body, or upper body, yes, off the floor here. So from here, we're just gonna do a little tiny lift up, bringing your chest and upper body off the floor here. Exhale here, lifting the arms, and then inhale again to slowly lower back down all the way to the floor. Beautiful. Keeping those elbows close. Exhaling to lift a little bit higher every time, and inhale to slowly lower. Again, we're prepping our body to come into our hold at the top, so really making sure you're taking advantage of these dynamic movements. So you're really focusing on getting deeper and deeper, so at the final static movement, we can go our deepest form to hold. Nice. Looking good. We have last one after this one here, making sure you're zipping in through the inner thighs here. And on your next exhalation, we want to hit a little bit higher here, as high as you can possibly go, and then really lift those arms off the floor, off of your body if possible, and holding for just a moment, making sure you're not sinking your shoulders in towards your ears. You're looking down towards your mat, the top of the mat, so you're minimizing any neck tension here. Nice. We have last 3 cycles of breath. See if you can lift a little bit higher, keeping the hips nice and heavy and upper body nice and effortless and weightless here. Last breath here. Nice deep inhale and exhale, and slowly lower those arms, the upper body back onto the floor. And if you have the dumbbells, let's go ahead and release those dumbbells by your sides and push them away. Nice. And next up, we're gonna go ahead and interlace your hands behind your head here. We're gonna do a little tiny lift up, a little tiny lift down. Now, if this is not in your practice and you feel like your head and the neck is not cooperating with you today, or you feel that you're pulling on your neck excessively, you can feel free to come into the cobra. So bringing your arms down by your sides and gently just lifting up either in a baby cobra or full cobra. It's gonna be very, very similar activation. It's just that it's taking a lot of strain and tension off of your head and the neck here. Or another option is to bring your hands away from directly the interlace and from the midline and keeping it a little bit higher. All right, wherever we are, keep going. Exhaling to lift, little tiny pulse up and inhale down. Nice, looking good. We have 3 more. Nice deep exhale, lift, inhale down. Last one, coming up after this one. Right here, little tiny lifts here. And on your next exhalation, let's go ahead and come back into our seated position, pushing back. Nice. And last pose today is going to be on your back. So let's go ahead and now coming back onto your back. Let's go ahead and come into fish pose. So for this one, we're gonna go ahead and bring your feet into extension and we're gonna go ahead and recline nice and back here. From here, we're gonna go ahead and bring now your arms close to you in the center line. So bringing your palms underneath your buttocks here, one side at a time, lifting your buttocks and sliding your palms underneath. From here, we're gonna go ahead and press firmly down into your elbows here. So we lift up through that upper back, feeling that strengthening in the upper back, and then feeling a stretch and opening in the front line of the chest and the body. From here, if this is already a comfortable position for you, you can feel free to stay here in the level 1 by bringing your toes into pointed position here. And for the head and the neck, ideally it is great to bring the top of the head down towards the floor and then allowing yourself to get a little bit deeper. But I know that for some of us, the head and the neck tension can be quite intense and real sometimes. So you can feel free to just gently pressing your head back down and just focusing on pressing your elbows down. So you're activating in through the back muscles here. Now from here, wherever you are, we're just gonna go ahead and hold firmly up and away from the floor. So pressing your elbows down, but pressing your upper back, lifting up nice and high. Again, keeping your head down onto the floor or coming into full by bringing the tops of your head. Again, more emphasis if you're in the full fish, more emphasis into the elbows and the arms and the back than the head. So the head and the neck should feel quite effortless. It looks as though the head and the neck is coming into quite a bit of a tension area, but it's actually not. I'm bringing most of my tension into my elbows and my back here. Nice. And we're gonna be here for one more full cycle of breath, actively pressing the elbows down and away from your back and the body, the midline. Squeeze the upper back muscles, and on your next exhalation, bringing your chin back down towards your chest and unraveling the hands from underneath your buttocks and the floor. And let's go ahead and just melt into Shavasana for a moment, bringing your feet out nice and wide. Those palms are facing up towards the sky, allowing your body to just rest here. Thanking your body for all of its hard work today. You can feel free to close the eyes here if that feels comfortable. And just melting onto the floor, releasing your upper back. Your lower back should also feel nice and released here as well. Nice, breathing nice deep inhale through the nose. And deep exhalation out through the mouth here. Beautiful. Really taking a moment to thank your body for all its hard work that it does on a day-to-day, but also really
really being proud of yourself for finishing this hard workout. It was quite intense. Started off nice and then intense at the end. Nice. And whenever you feel ready, slowly, gently rocking your head side to side, perhaps rolling your wrists in nice circles here, and perhaps giving yourself a beautiful hug in the center. You did an awesome work today. Nice. And whenever you feel ready, rolling onto one side of the body and pressing up and coming back into our seated position. And that is it. Great work today. I hope that y'all are enjoying this series. And if y'all have been enjoying this series, y'all already know the drill. Tomorrow is day 7. It is the finale. So I look forward to seeing y'all for the next one. Bye, y'all.